Joint Government and World Bank Implementation Support Mission for the Additional Financing Sustainable Rural Water and Sanitation Project was carried out from February 3rd to 11th, 2020. The government team was led by Mr. Uzukunedu, Project Coordinator, Community Water and Sanitation Agency, and included officials from Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources, Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Education, and the CWSA Head Office. The World Bank team was led by Mr. Idbarik Chisama, Senior Water Supply and Sanitation Specialist. The main objectives of the mission were to review implementation status of all components of the project, review project compliance to the fiduciary and safeguards policies of the bank and provide guidance where required, and meet with management of the Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources to follow up on the dialogue concerning sector institutional review and continuation of banks to support to WASH. The mission visited project sites and met with respective regional, district, and municipal officials in Northern, Bono East, and Ahafo regions. The remaining regions presented their respective implementation progress and took part in the regional discussion of the mission findings held in Sunyani on February 6, 2020. The project was originally designed for 6 regions, namely Northern, Upper East, Upper West, Rong Ahafo, Central, and Western. With the creation of the new administrative regions, the Northern region has been divided into 3 regions, namely Northern, Northeast, and Savannah. Rong Ahafo has also been divided into 3 regions, namely Bono East, and Ahafo. Western has been divided into 2 regions, Western and Western North. As a result, the number of beneficiary regions has increased from 6 to 11.
The Sustainable Water and Sanitation Project started in June 2010 with funding from the IDA World Bank. The project cost initially was $75 million, and this project ran from 2010 to June 2017. By the close of the project, a number of the facilities that were planned initially could not be built for the reason that cost overrun, then the systems as well were planned were expanded beyond the initial scope. Therefore, more funding was needed to take care of the communities that were not able to do. That is, about 2 pipe water systems was left in Upper West, 7 in Northern region, Central region, the whole of Silent Bed that was planned was never tackled. And in the Bahaf region, about 7 systems that were done were also earmarked for the additional funding. Through the intervention of the government, World Bank agreed to finance the system that were not able to be completed. The additional funding was $45.7 million, and that's what the project set out to do, which commenced in 2017 January and is to end in June 2020.
In the Northern region, the team visited and inspected progress of work on water systems, source boreholes and pump houses, construction of solar farms, installation of water treatment plants, and the construction of water storage tanks in Gambaga, Nalerugu, Bushegu, Walewale, Saboba, Trepone, Fufulso, and Iyeji. A total of 7 piped water systems are being constructed in the 3 northern regions. It came to light during the inspection of the projects that, with the exception of the Yape water system, which was completed as at February 2020, the rest of the 6 systems were awaiting the installation of smart taps to complete the systems. A total population of 101,668 people will have access to safe water when all the 7 piped water systems become operational by the end of March 2020 in the 3 regions of Northern, Northeast, and Savannah.
In the Northern region, originally we were supposed to have rehabilitated 14 systems and construct 1 new and then 2 limited mechanized systems. But because of the inadequacy of the funding at that time, we only rehabilitated 7, and then the remaining 7 systems were put on hold, and then the limited mechanized systems were also suspended. that when the funding was approved, we realized that the design didn't cover a number of areas of the community, and then also the communities have also expanded. The towns that were left, Walewale, Nalerugu, Gambaga, Ushegu, Saboba, Chereponi, and then Yape. For the Ushegu, Walewale, Nalerugu, Gambaga, and Chereponi systems, they were designed based on the groundwater, that's a borehole system. For Saboba, the source is surface water, and then for the Yape system too, we needed to connect it from Fufuso water system, which had the source from the White Volta.
At Saboba, the team, together with the CWSA Northern Regional Office, held a meeting with the District Assembly, the contractor and consultant and their teams to discuss the status of work on the construction of storage tanks and laying of pipes for the Chereponi and Saboba piped water systems. The mission strongly advised that the construction supervision and contract management efforts must be redoubled in the two delayed contracts in the northern region in order to ensure that the remaining activities are completed, the water supply systems commissioned in the next 2 months, and payments for executed works are made on time. Also discussed were issues concerning sanitation and environmental safeguards. The Extension Services Coordinator, Mrs. Theodora Adumako Ajay, led the team to inspect Digne Loo and household toilets constructed under the project for beneficiary communities. At Yape, the mission tested the use of tokens to fetch water from a smart tap. Community members, including men, women, and children, tried their hands at the exciting new technology.
We have made them aware that when they get to the dispenser, on the token, as you can see, you see this design here. So we make them aware that when they get to the standpipe, they should look for this. And this is where they will put the token. First, we want to check whether we have credit on this. If you want to check, you just have to tap and you remove it. So this one tells you the number of liters of water that you have. But if you want to fetch water, then let it stay. With this one, if even you have a small water bottle, you can come here and come and fetch water. The water is flowing. You can see the drop in it means that the quantity of water you have here is going down. And then some of the messages that has also made them happy is the fact that if you have this, we are not going to have any queue here. Anytime you can go to the market, anytime you come and fetch your water and go.
In the Bono and Bono East regions, the mission traveled to Prime in the Bono East region, where they held a meeting with the community to discuss water supply and sanitation issues. The meeting was attended by Chief, Elders and Queen Mothers, the District Assembly, the District Environmental Safeguards Team, and the Bono East Regional Office, led by the Regional Director Alhaji Arura Ahmed. The team inspected the water system and storage tank in the town after the meeting.
Bono East and Afro regions are part of the 11 regions benefiting from this project. The main components of the project include water provision, sanitation, and environmental and social safeguards. In the 3 regions of Bono East and Ahafo, the water component had to do with the provision of small-town water facilities for 5 communities in 4 municipal and district assemblies. The 5 communities are Dutuba in the Nkranza South Municipality, Grosankro in the Tano South Municipality, Prime in the Pru West District Assembly, and Esre and Jankufa in the German North Assembly. The facilities have all been completed as at 30th September 2019 and were handed over to the CWSA in December 2019. The systems are currently operational under defects liability. which ends in December 2020. The total cost of the water component of constructing these facilities stands at 12,533,588 Ghana cedis, and the water facilities are expected to serve a total population of 40,000 inhabitants. The project came with some innovations. The designs for all these water systems targeted 100% household connections in line with the requirements of SDG 6. Additionally, new type of pumps, hybrid pumps, which include solar and electric pumps, have been installed on these water systems so as to reduce the high power consumptions and, for that matter, operational costs. In addition, we have a technology now being used at the public standpipes where water is dispensed through smart taps which use tokens. The advantage associated with the smart taps is the fact that it helps to reduce non-revenue water, makes accountability easy, and also give 24 access to consumers to fetch water at their own convenience, and also to budget and pay for water as they require. The systems are currently being run by 34 staff who have been recruited by the CWSA. Out of the 34, we have 21 professional staff and 13 auxiliary staff. The second component of the project, which is the sanitation component, was rolled out in 15 out of the 29 districts and in 180 communities. The project deliverables include the provision of household latrines with a target of 3,350 for the 3 regions. The achievement of open defecation free in 94 communities, and the provision of school teachers' latrines to institutions where institutional latrines were previously provided for during the main project. The achievements under the sanitation component have been very remarkable. Out of the target of 3,350 for household latrine construction, the 3 regions achieved in total 3,992. That gives you about 642 above the regional target, about 19% above the target. With respect to the ODF achievements, we were able to achieve 179 ODF communities, which is about 85 above the 94 regional target. With the construction of the school teachers' latrines, with all the 95 have been duly completed. In all, we must say that the additional financing sustainable water and sanitation project in the Bono East and Afro region has been very successful.
Status of the 3 components of the Sustainable Rural Water and Sanitation Project in all 11 regions were found to be as follows. Rural and small town water supply. Almost all contracts for the construction of water supply systems in all the beneficiary regions were found to be at the final stage of implementation. When finished, the project will provide safe water supply to an estimated number of 362,994 people. Generally, management of various contracts were found to have improved substantially. Summary of progress of key contracts in the regions is as follows. All the 5 water supply systems in Bono East and Ahafo regions are completed and water is being provided at the public standpipes. In the central region, all civil works are completed and supply of water started in 2 clusters, while the rest are expected to be commissioned in the next 1 month when the installation of the smart taps is completed. In the northern region, 4 of the 7 water supply systems, Gambaga, Walwale, Nalerugu, and Gushegu, are ready to supply water using the grid power. Yape is ready for commissioning, while the works in the last 2 towns, Shrepone and Saboba, are yet to be completed, including finalizing the overhead tank, installation of intake pumps, and smart taps. In the Upper West region, Civil work construction in both Lambousier and Hamley-Hapa system is completed, while the installation of smart taps is yet to commence. In the Western region, the outstanding civil works on Asampaneye and Osei-Kujo Chrome systems are completed, while the installation of smart taps is pending. On the component of rural and small town integrated sanitation and hygiene, the project had, as at the end of January 2020, distributed 26,143 dignity slabs provided under the project to assist low-income communities in the construction of household toilets.
The Sustainable Rural Water and Sanitation Project also has sanitation as one of the key components. On the project, the targets for sanitation are to achieve 550 open defecation-free communities, and also to support the construction of 20,000 household toilet facilities and 568 teachers' toilets. As part of the implementation of the sanitation component, Community Water and Sanitation Agency introduced the Dignity toilets. These are just a fabricated toilet component that comes as a slab with a vent pipe. This was provided as a support to the households or to the communities to be able to construct resilient toilet facilities that can stand the test of time, meaning when it rains, they will still be standing. The project has been able to achieve all these targets because as at now, 23,351 dignilos have been installed as household toilet facilities. CWSA has also achieved 685 open defecation-free communities and constructed 568 teachers' toilets in 224 schools. In total, 25,129 household toilet facilities have been provided. Community Water and Sanitation Agency takes environmental and social safeguards as a very important component in provision of water and sanitation. One major component of the environmental and social safeguards is the development of the abbreviated resettlement action plans. And the purpose and objective of the abbreviated resettlement action plan is to outline a set of mitigation and monitoring measures that will be used to curtail or minimize to acceptable levels the adverse social impacts that may occur during the construction of the water systems. In preparation of the abbreviated resettlement action plan, site verification visits were undertaken, consultations of all key stakeholders were also done, and identification of social issues associated with the construction works were also considered. The abbreviated resettlement action plan is in response to the planning, implementation, and monitoring processes required to ensure that people are better or at least not made worse off than they were before the construction of the water systems.
The third component is institutional strengthening, and as part of the Sustainable Rural Water Supply Project, the World Bank, at the request of the then Sector Ministry of Water Resources, Works and Housing, supported the establishment of a robust sector information system to facilitate information sharing coordination, and to enhance monitoring and evaluation roles among water and sanitation actors. The system was to provide real-time information databases on access to water and sanitation services, performance of water supply and sanitation facilities, and operation and maintenance funding requirements vis-a-vis tariff levels within communities.
The Sustainable Rural Water and Sanitation Project has been a very successful project. The targets we set for ourselves for both water and sanitation have been achieved. One of the remarkable things with this project is, for those in the sector, you know that prior to this project, we usually had for sanitation a lower target than for water. Sometimes 10%, the coverage that you expect for water is the coverage that you want for sanitation, because community water was more focused on water supply than on the sanitation aspect. But for this project, at the time it was being prepared, we knew Ghana had virtually achieved the MDG target for water at the time, and then for sanitation we had hit about 80% when the target for sanitation was 76%, and around that time the target for sanitation was just around 11%, and we were supposed to get to 54%. And so what it meant was that we had to put in extra effort to achieve the targets for sanitation. And amazingly, we've been able to hit the target. Open defecation, we've been able to exceed all the targets that we expected. The number of household latrines we expected, we've also been able to achieve the same. And one other aspect which has been remarkable for us is that nobody knew this COVID-19 was coming. But as part of the project, and in our previous projects, hand washing has always been taken as a very important aspect of the project. So we had these innovative tippy taps for the household latrines, and also for every school, the hand washing stations were properly designed and managed. And now, if you look at the outcomes, what we did, it was almost as if we were preparing for the COVID-19. And that's one of the things about having a well-planned project. Another great innovation that the project has achieved, Community Water is telling us how one of the largest costs they have in managing a system is the electricity costs. So for a lot of the new systems which have been constructed, these solar panels have been put in place so they can operate without that huge electricity bill. In fact, one of the most amazing ones is Yape, where you have surface water from the Volta, which is being treated, and you have a conventional treatment system, and everything is being powered by the solar panels which have been constructed. That is one thing which is going to help with the sustainability. In previous projects, we had covered most of the areas where it was easy to reach with water. So this time we're looking in the saline belt and in the fluoride belt. So another great innovation that came up, especially in the saline belt, is the bulk water connections to Ghana Water Company in the central region. And for one of the systems in the central region, there's one which is serving over 130 communities, way above what was planned initially. But because of this innovation which came up, we have these changes which have taken place. We think that moving forward, this is the time that we should consolidate the gains which have been made. All development partners, all NGOs coming together with government, developing one comprehensive strategy which will be implemented across board in all 60 regions in Ghana, all partners, government, everybody, same strategy. We'll be able to turn the situation around. Our focus with the SDGs is to make sure that everybody, no one is left behind. Everybody has water in their homes. We want to give everybody sanitation. It is time for us to come together, have one mind, have one purpose, work together to achieve the targets that we have for Ghana.
The mission was satisfied with the progress of implementation of the project and work done so far. In all the 11 regions, construction of water systems, high-level tanks, treatment plants, platforms for standpipes, installation of smart taps, etc. were either completed or about 98% complete. Sanitation facilities, including digging loos for teachers, ODF communities, were all done, with some regions exceeding expected ODF communities, while activities concerning environment and safeguards had been well implemented. The team urged the project regions where there were still outstanding works to expedite action in order to meet the project completion deadline by the end of March 2020.